Hello and thanks for joining us on this Monday afternoon for another live broadcast of SMTV. I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Jeff Kilman. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend.
And whether or not you're on the East Coast or not, I'm sure you've heard the news about Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah, so first our thoughts and prayers with everyone on the East Coast. Be safe and listen to your evacuation routes and let's get to higher ground as things are going to get crazy. But I have to imagine this is a trending topic on Twitter today.
It is. Not only is it a trending topic, but Hurricane Sandy has several of their own accounts on Twitter. There's a Hurricane Sandy, a Sandy Hurricane, multiple spellings, and so funny to see how people have grabbed onto these and not just captured the Twitter account, but gotten hundreds of thousands of followers.
Yeah, we were looking right before we came on air at one of them, and it had actually more followers than Al Roker, who's actually talking about the news, Sandy, the actual serious news of Hurricane Sandy, and one of them is putting out jokes that aren't quite good enough for us to show you here on air.
I don't want to click on one of these accounts because it gets a little racy, but it's funny to see how many people have grabbed onto this.
Yeah.
Well, and any topic too. It's not just hurricanes.
Once again, I guess showing that even in serious situations, the levity and the entertainment value that people go to social media for is just as important as the serious nature and the actual information. So, once again, the instantaneous feedback of social media. I can get my news, I can get it in the same feed as I can get entertained and some jokes along the way.
And as we learned last week and this week too, sometimes going after what you want is so much more than just social media. It's more than just having your Facebook page, your Twitter account, even though these have done very well. In the case of Michael Henriksen, who actually got Billy Idol to play at his birthday party.
Yeah, so this guy made me feel really lazy about my birthdays. So at age 24, he planned out his 26th birthday and went on a 2-year campaign to get Billy Idol to play his concert, play a concert for his birthday. Set up a website, set up all the social media channels. But as you alluded to, I think what's important for our brands to learn about this story is he went out and still worked the crowds, pressed the flesh, met networkers, met the people and influencers that he needed to meet. And if he couldn't do it via social, he physically got out and met them at comedy clubs, meeting C and D celebrities that he would hope would then migrate him up one more level towards Billy Idol. So, don't discount the physical nature of networking and influence gathering to draw people to your site, to draw people to your cause. It's a great thing for brands to remember, too, is that just setting yourself up in a vacuum in social media can't always be the best strategy.
And this is starting from scratch. You imagine a brand that has some following, has some customers. This is a guy who started with nothing and just went to these events, got those C-level celebrity endorsements, and worked his way up to this and didn't give up. I mean, I think his original plan was to have it for his 25th birthday. Yeah. It didn't work out. He kept going and actually got Billy Idol to play at his 26th birthday.
Yeah, I mean, so once again, for brands to think about it, I mean, how can your social media campaign influence and be mirrored inside of your packaging, inside of your traditional media, into your influencer campaigns, so that as people are touching your brand, no matter if in the physical space, in the store, as they're talking about it with friends, and then in social, how are they getting that same message?
Congratulations to Michael and happy birthday.
That's right, happy birthday.
Let's answer some of your questions about social media. Remember to let us know what campaigns you're working on. We're here to answer questions you have or just help you brainstorm some ideas.
That's right. You can email questions to us here at questions@splashmediau.com. Or you can tweet them by using the hashtag SMTV Questions.
Our first question of the day comes in from Stevie. Stevie wants to know, what's the big deal with Google+? Do I need to be involved in it?
Well, Stevie, I can't answer that question for you. I don't know if Google Plus is the right strategy or not for you, just as I don't know if Facebook or Twitter are. But in general, I will tell you that you should not discount Google Plus simply because of the engagement levels. I know there's been a lot of talk in the media that Google Plus hasn't seen the numbers or it doesn't have the crowd base as a Facebook or a Twitter. And while that's true, I wouldn't discount anything with the name Google in it. As we all know, Google's bringing all of their properties together, and it really influences your search rankings. So if search is important for your business and how you organically show up in search listings, Google Plus is a fantastic strategy to help drive that number up. I'll also tell you that if you're in certain verticals, anything in the creative or technical or technology space, Google Plus has seen a huge uptick in the top influencers gravitating to that spot. So while not huge crowds, the most important people are conversing, sharing, and talking inside of Google Plus. I think it's a great kept secret to play in that space and really get to know it. It's a great place. And a third piece is to make sure you get the beachhead there for your vertical. More than likely, your competition has not moved into that space yet, and it's a great chance for you to get that.
And if you have the resources to take advantage of some of these interesting things that Google offers that the other platforms don't, like Google Plus Hangouts, you can do some really creative things with that, especially if you're on the B2B side and want to create something that's a little bit more informative and educational and reach out to your network via video. It can be a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah, I love Google Hangouts. It's a great way to get an interactive experience with clients and customers together. I love it as far as bringing people together into a rich environment.
Right.
Cool. Well, Josh has a question about blogging, and he wants to know, do you have any tips on how to start a blog for my furniture company?
Absolutely. Just make sure that you know why you're blogging. It could be because you want to be an authority in the furniture industry, or you want to just create awareness and bring people in because you want to optimize your posts and have people be able to find your blog when they search for you. So just make sure you have the reasons behind it going into it, but other than that, it's just a matter of getting started. Just start blogging.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. When I talk to clients so many times, what I find out the biggest barrier is them sitting down and writing that very first post. They feel like, well, hey, I'm not Ernest Hemingway.
Right.
And I'm not really sure why would anyone care to read this. And it's just a reminder that in the digital space, no one's expecting you to be Ernest Hemingway. They do expect you to be rather entertaining and informative and authentic. Bring those three things together and just start. We can clean it up later.
Right.
You can worry about optimizing and doing this. Just run spell check and make sure that your basic grammar is on target, but just start writing. And I think that's the biggest barrier for most small companies.
Yeah, there's so many businesses that we've worked with that hesitate to put anything out there that isn't 100% perfect and says exactly what it needs to say. Blogging doesn't have to be that.
No, I mean, people are looking to have an authentic vision of who you are as a business or who you are as a business owner. And sometimes it's that behind the scenes piece that people really care about and can really be insightful to them.
Right. Susan wants to know, is monitoring the same as listening in social media?
Oh, Susan, there's consultants in social media that have made lots and lots of money parsing those two words and debating what does one mean versus the other. And I guess keeping our clients confused on what the two mean means that I guess this industry of social media gets to keep churning away. I'm going to use common sense and say there's not a huge difference between monitoring and listening, but here's what is important. As a company, you need to be using social media to help you listen or monitor what's being said about you, what's being said about your industry, and what's being said about your competition. You want to have a 360-degree view of those three topics. What's being said, who is saying it, when are they saying it, and more importantly, how are they saying it? And if you can use those tools and analytics that can bring that data to you so that you always know when someone is talking about you, your competition, or your industry. These are great insights for both proactive and reactive decisions around marketing, sales, PR. It really can affect your entire company by having an effective social media / monitoring, listening campaign going. So don't think of it as just for marketing. It really does affect your entire company.
I think that covers it. It's the first step that we always talk about when we're working with a new client is what are people saying about you, about your products and services. That's always the first step.
Yeah, but thank you for the question. So Jason has our next question. He asks, what is the best way to figure out our keyword phrases and for my business?
This falls in line perfectly with Susan's question because you have to listen and dig a little bit to find those key phrases. One thing is just to be aware of what people are typing in to their search engine to find your type of business. So what do you want to rank for? So if someone types in, X search terms, do you want to come up on the first page for that term? And then the other thing is, I think, just looking at competition, finding other businesses on LinkedIn is a great place for this. Doing a little digging on their websites, find what they're trying to rank for and piggyback a little bit.
Sure. There's tools out there that can help you do this, but I like the down and dirty ones. One of my favorite ones is host a dinner party and ask your friends, how would they search for your business?
That's great.
Have everyone play a game of fill out the card, and if I tell you here's what I do for a living, how would you find it on Google? And you'd be surprised at some of the different answers that you get. Once again, the difference in how the mind thinks when they don't live inside of that business versus the way you're going to think about it because you do live in it every day.
That's a great point. You do have to kind of separate yourself a little bit because you're in it every day, and your opinion on what people are actually typing in could be a little skewed.
Absolutely.
If you've done this for years and years and years.
Kind of like social monitoring or listening.
Exactly. Love these questions. That's going to do it for today. I want to thank you for joining us for SMTV. Keep those questions and topic ideas coming in. For Splash Media, I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Jeff Kilman. Have a super week, everyone.